Mike McDaniel had a team, E-I-E-I-O. And in that team, they lost every game, E-I-E-I-O. We're getting ready to tear into Mike McDaniel, aren't we? All right, let's get into it.
You want to talk about sports?
Yes, I want to talk about sports.
You want to get a real job? You want to talk about sports?
Sports.
Sports?
Sports.
Sports?
Sports.
All right, sports it is.
Welcome to Tony's Upset, a sports podcast fueled by autism and brotherhood. Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Tony Cianelli. We're here with my co-host, Gianni Cianelli. How are you, Gianni?
I'm doing really well. I'm actually super excited for this episode. I think last week's episode was great. I think this one's going to be great, too.
Me too.
What do you want to talk about today, Tony?
Let's talk about Mike McDaniel.
I mean, we keep on talking about coaches that need to be fired. And let's be honest, Mike McDaniel, he's kind of fun. He's got like a young energy about him. I think when he first came to the NFL, he looked like a promising coach. Like, how did he do in his first year?
Yes, he went 9-8 his first year.
Yeah, and he lost in the wild card round of the
Yeah.
playoffs. And then in 2023, again, 11-6, lost in the wild card round. Things were looking good, right?
Yes, they were looking good, but then they lost to the Buffalo Bills in the last game. And they had a 5-game lead against Buffalo.
Sheesh.
And then they just, crumbled.
Okay.
And that led to, losing in the first round to the Kansas City Chiefs.
Sheesh.
And then last year, what did McDaniel do? Went 8-9, and guess what?
What?
They missed the playoffs.
Yeah, that's kind of to be expected. Now, not including his 2 losses in the postseason, Mike McDaniels is 29-27, not including this past weekend's game, okay? But most of those wins were in his first 2 seasons, right?
Yes, absolutely. With his star quarterback, Tua Tagovailoa.
Doing really well.
Yes.
And honestly, Tua's doing pretty well this season, too.
He is.
And a Chain's doing well at running back.
Yeah.
How is this team not winning football games?
It's a coach, Mike McDaniel.
Do you think it's time to fire him?
Absolutely.
Well, you heard it here first, folks. Mike McDaniels is on Fraud Watch.
Yes, he is.
Maybe we need a new segment. Fraud Watch.
Fraud Watch.
Do you know what it means for someone to be on Fraud Watch?
Yes.
Okay, good. I wanted to make sure. All right. Continuing from there, let's do a little Premier League soccer update. That sound good with you?
Okay.
So there's a lot of big news stories actually going on. I know you know a couple of them. So first of all, I want to talk about the fact that a lot of managers have been fired. So Nottingham Forest sacked their manager, Nuno Espirito Santos, who used to be a Tottenham coach, in case you didn't know that. And then after that, West Ham sacked their coach, Graham Potter.
No, what's sacked?
Sacked means fired.
Fired. Oh, so is that their term in soccer, sacked?
Yep. That is their term in soccer. Sacked. The coach gets sacked, right? So, which I know is weird from a football perspective because you sack a quarterback. But no one tackles these coaches, to be clear. But yeah, so Nottingham Forest fires their coach. West Ham fires Graham Potter, their coach. And then Nuno Espirito Santos, who, like I said, was at Nottingham Forest, he's now at West Ham. West Ham just hired him back. And guess who Nottingham Forest hired?
The guy from West Ham?
No. Ange Postecoglou. Do you remember him?
Oh, the USA coach. No.
No. Do you want me to keep that in or no?
Sure.
Okay. That is actually another one of Tottenham's exes. That's Mauricio Pochettino. Ange Postecoglou is the guy who just won the Europa League with Tottenham, and then they fired him because he's kind of awesome and also kind of awful. You know, one of the podcasts I listened to, The Extra Inch, who shouted you out, they had a debate about whether or not he should get a termination contract or a statue. And I think what they came to a conclusion on is he should get both. He should lose his job and never be brought back again. But also he should get a statue because he won a trophy. And yeah, so Ange Postecoglou was actually hired as the coach for Nottingham Forest. And it's not going well already.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a couple other things that I want to talk about with the table. Tony, do you have any questions for me?
Yes, I do. What do you think about Arsenal being on top of the table?
Listen, as a Tottenham fan, I will acknowledge the fact that Arsenal have really good players, and they are the top of the Premier League right now. But they play boring football, passive football. They're not playing great stuff. I remember maybe a year or two ago, maybe it was, I don't even remember. Do you remember when we had your joint birthday party with Joey?
Yes, that was like last year.
I remember watching Arsenal play. I think they won 4-0 that day. And I was like, this team plays good football. They're good. Like, I'll give them credit. This year, they're playing passive defensive football. They just don't seem to have that bite that they need to win a league. So I don't think going down the stretch that they're going to win the league. Do you have any other questions for me?
Yes. Should Manchester United sack Ruben Amala?
Amarin.
Amarin.
Yep. It's a hard question. So Manchester United is an absolute train wreck. Everything about them is a train wreck. They, in case you don't know, imagine like if the Yankees were the worst team in their division every year.
Yes.
Like after like decades of being the best of the best, they're just not good. But they throw tons of money at this team to be good. The manager's tactics don't really work with the players that he has at his disposal. But the problem is, you really can't hire another coach that's going to fix this. You know, there's this cycle that a lot of teams go through. West Ham's actually another example of this. You hire like a defensive, pragmatic guy, right?
Yeah.
And then you win a couple games, but the fans are bored. They want to see a little bit more flair, a little bit more attack. So you go out and you get the hot coach who's going to play attacking football, and he's got all these cool ideas, and then he starts losing games and losing more games. And then the fans are like, you know what? We need to play better defense. So you go back to the defensive coach. So United could probably switch to a defensive coach that would maximize, the players he has at his disposal, someone that's a little bit more pragmatic, but it's not going to change his team's culture. I think the organization itself is sick, but I don't think you can fix that by firing the coach. So for now, do whatever they want. They're not a problem either way. They're not going to win the league if they fire him. There's no one they can go out and get that I think is worth their time, unless maybe they go get Bournemouth's coach, but I don't even know if that would help them. Any other questions for me about the Premier League?
Nope, I'm good.
All right, let's talk Tom Aspinall.
Yes.
Now, Tom Aspinall, he was kind of waiting around for that Jones fight, right?
Yes.
We talked about this maybe when we talked about whether or not Jones was the GOAT of the UFC. Remember that conversation?
Yep.
All right, I don't know why I'm asking you. It's really a question of if I remember, if you remember everything. Talk to me of what happened with Tom Aspinall.
So Tom Aspinall has a fight in 2 weeks against the number one league contender, Ciryl Gane.
Is Ciryl Gane good?
He is good. He's fought for about a couple times against Jones.
Okay. Ciryl has fought for the title belt a couple times.
Yes, he has, yes.
Okay. Do you think he has a shot against Tom Aspinall?
I do believe so. I
Okay.
do. I'm picking Aspinall.
You're still picking Aspinall
Yes.
to win, but you don't think it's going to be like an absolute bloodbath.
What the matchmakers are saying right now, he's a 4-1 favorite.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
Now, what are strengths and weaknesses of these guys?
Aspinall, he's a power guy, Gane likes to use his feet.
Okay. Are these like more strikers, or are they more like ground game jiu-jitsu guys?
I know Gane is not a jiu-jitsu guy. He likes to be on his feet. With Aspinall, his only loss was 15 seconds, and he tore something in his leg.
Yeah.
But, with Aspinall, he's such a quick finisher. He's more of a power guy, but he can also submit you.
Okay.
He doesn't go long. I don't think most of his went up by knockout.
Wow.
But he has submitted somebody. And I don't think he's been to a decision in the UFC. So I think all of his wins have been in the first round.
All right. That's kind of impressive.
Yeah.
So there's one more thing we want to talk about today. Tony, what are we doing this Friday?
We are flying to Vancouver, British Columbia.
Is it British Columbia? Do you know that?
Vancouver, I think they say.
It's Canada.
Vancouver.
I don't know if Canada's British Columbia. I don't mean to be disrespectful to our Canada audience. I don't know anything about anything. I mean, I barely know the United States, let's be honest.
Vancouver,
But we're going to
Canada.
Vancouver. Why are we going to Vancouver?
Vancouver?
Why are we
Because
going?
our cousin, Matt,
The Steamroller Frivola.
will be fighting
Yeah.
against Kyle Nelson, and we'll be there to watch him. We might shoot a podcast there, too.
We are super excited.
Yes,
Shout
we are.
out to Caleb Fisher, who texted me this idea. And then shout out to my dad, who's financing this idea. Technically, my dad and mom, who are financing this idea and who are paying for Tony and I to go on this trip. Now, this is not just a free vacation for me. I am flying Tony across the country, and I have to keep him safe in Vancouver, which I'd imagine is a pretty safe place. Tony, is there any food that you really want to try in Vancouver?
No,
Have you had Canadian food?
I have not.
Have you ever had poutine?
Yes, I have.
That's Canadian.
Oh,
Yeah, there's some good things there. I've had ketchup flavored Lay's from Canada. Those are really good. You remember my friend Matt that's Canadian? He used to always bring back things from Canada that you can't really get in America.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, there's some really awesome things in Canada, and I cannot wait to go on this. I think it's going to be a big trip for us. This will
Yeah.
probably be your first time traveling without mom and dad.
Yes.
It's a big deal for someone with autism. But I'll take care of you. You'll be safe.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Tony's the one that does no, you don't do jujitsu. You do what's that? What's the
CrossFit.
Yeah. You do CrossFit. I do
Yeah.
jujitsu. I'm not good at it, but you could. Tony can hold his own. If we get in a fight and the podcast goes away, you'll know why. All right, Tony, you want to talk about UFC Vancouver a little bit before we go?
Absolutely.
All right. So there's a couple big fights on there. Kevin Holland fighting Matt Mallow.
Mike Malott.
Oh, okay. Who do you got there?
I'm going to go with Kevin Holland.
Now, last time you and I went to a bar to watch UFC, we saw Kevin Holland fight, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
And I don't really know Kevin Holland that well, but I was cheering him on because I thought he was awesome. And Tony was like, I would probably not be cheering as loud as you are. And I was like, why? Do you want to explain to me why?
Yeah, he's kind of an asshole.
Is he a jerk in the ring? Or is he a jerk like to reporters? Or is it just kind of all persona, you think? Like a fighter persona that he just puts on?
He likes to talk in a link. So I'm going to say this. So early on this year, he was on a podcast called the Jackson Podcast. And one of the co-hosts is Quentin Rampage Jackson, who they don't like each other. Rampage Jackson was a UFC fighter. And, Holland was a kind of a jackass to him. He was like, you don't know what a 7 was, talking about. Holland's like, oh, you know guns, but you know nothing about guns. And you don't know what a 7 something is. And then, but that's another thing with Quentin Rampage Jackson.
But he
He's
came
kind
on
of
this...
like in the news for something else.
Okay. But Kevin went on this guy's podcast and just started attacking him.
Yes.
I see what you're saying. Okay. So that's not the main card, though. I'd say the main... Well,
he's on the main card.
But the main fight on that card is going to be RDR versus...
Brendan Allen.
Now, that's a replacement because the other guy got injured, you said?
Yes.
I remember that conversation. Do you know Brendan Allen at all?
No.
Okay.
Wait, no, I've watched him fight.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So, this one's probably going to RDR, though, right?
Yeah.
Do you know...
I still don't know what
I mean, Brendan Allen might just be like an unknown entity who could... How old is he?
27, 28?
Oh, it's pretty old, sure.
That's still young in UFC.
Okay, that's fair. I mean, we don't have odds yet. That's weird.
No, some people have came up with odds.
Do you know what the odds would be?
It's like minus 180 for RDR.
That's not atrocious, right?
No.
Okay, so RDR, do you know what his game style is?
He's a wrestler.
Okay,
Yeah.
so a little bit of ground
But
game.
so is Allen, yes.
Okay, I like that matchup then.
Me too.
I don't know. I think like
That's
if you
fine.
wanted striking, go watch boxing.
Mm-hmm.
I like jiu-jitsu. I
Me
mean,
too,
don't get me wrong.
yes.
I like a strike. Like when you put a guy on his backside and you knock him out with a punch, that's cold. That's cold.
Yes,
when
yes.
you kick a guy and you knock him out, that's cold. But I like a little bit of like jiu-jitsu.
Jiu-jitsu, yep.
You know?
Submissions.
As a jiu-jitsu guy, I'm not a jiu-jitsu guy. I mean, I am technically. I'm just the worst in the world at it. I'm just so bad at it, Tony. I am so bad at jiu-jitsu.
You got a lot of things.
Thank you. All right, well, Tony, got anything else you want to talk about today?
I'm good.
All right. Well, we will be releasing an episode kind of as soon as we can when we get back from Canada. We're going to be doing kind of the reporter thing of taking like an early 10-hour flight and then trying to travel between places. And yeah, I mean, we're just going to be like roughing it basically and just on the run and go for like 4 days straight. So I'll put out this episode as soon as I can. We'll try to get recordings and we'll call it a day. Right, Tony?
What?
All right. Well, until next time, thank you for listening to Tony's Upset, a sports podcast fueled by autism and brotherhood. Goodbye, y'all. Good job.
Hey, very cool.
What'd you say?